Okay, kia ora, Tory Whanau.
Kia ora.
Thank you so much for giving us some of your time. I'm sure you're very busy. I wanted to start by asking you, in your tenure as mayor, what have you achieved for students? What are some solid, concrete achievements you've made for students?
Yeah. So I think for me, coming into the mayoralty, it was always going to be about how do we set up our city for the future, so that when students, when they graduate, form careers, that they actually stay here. So this term, we passed the district plan, which has enabled tens of thousands new homes to be built. So by increasing the supply of housing, we'll eventually, over time, be able to make it more affordable. We have,
Is it in terms of rents for students?
Yeah, rents, but also in the future buying. We've also increased the number of rental conversions. So our Te Kāinga program, which is it's a program that converts city buildings into, or unused business buildings into apartments.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in the last year we built 183. And we've created a new target of 1,500, which the Te Kāinga program provides lower rents, and homes for those on lower incomes. We also opened the youth centre on Willis Street, which is actually underneath one of these Te Kāinga buildings, which is it has a podcast room, kitchen, community area, spaces to study. It's just further down from a couple of the student accommodations on the Upper Willis Street as well. There's been a lot mainly put into projects that we want students to be able to enjoy in the future. So, for instance, our urban regeneration, transport and water project, which is the Courtney Place Revitalisation, part of the Golden Mile. Construction has started on that, and we hope to finish that in the next couple of years. And what that means, that project around Courtney Place, teamed with the redevelopment of Reading Cinema, will provide kind of a safe area where there'll be faster public transport, there'll be a full cycleway network, there'll be wider pathways, there'll be internal community spaces as well as outdoor.
And how will that help students?
It makes students feel part of the city. It gives them a space outside the university to be part of the community. It'll give them access to an entertainment hub, which at the moment we've heard from students feels unsafe. But by regenerating it and working with the hospitality industry to bring in much more establishments that don't just focus on heavy drinking, makes it a space where they want to hang as well.
Yeah. What about, say, the job economy? So graduates after finishing university trying to find work in Wellington and struggling to do so? Yeah,
so Wellington has been hit pretty hard with the public sector job cuts.
Yeah.
And that filters right down to graduation jobs as well. And that's been a real shame for Wellington City. So what we're doing through our economic funding, which goes primarily to Wellington NZ, is to focus on, while the public sector is working through that, we're investing more in the tech sector and the screen sector and film to develop more pathways. So what has been missing for some time is getting from graduating right through to the actual position. So supporting initiatives like Creative HQ, so young people can start up their own startup. I mean, actually, there's a youth tech crunch thing happening this weekend, where young people will be able to pitch their tech ideas. Supporting programs like Summer of Tech to find internships, so bringing that stuff back, and we're about to explore the film industry, especially now that it's had its injection from the government budget as well.
Okay, cool. Would you recommend the job of mayor to others? What was your experience like? Do you recommend it?
I mean, absolutely. So even though I've made the choice to step aside, I have absolutely no regrets about this job. So while people may have seen that it's brought a lot of negativity, in the media and online, actually I'm very proud of what this council has pushed through under my mayoralty, and that's things like the district plan, the highest ever investment in water infrastructure, public transport. So, and also 2 big city transformation projects that will make the city enjoyable for decades to come. So the Civic Square will be able to reopen our huge library, which will benefit students as well. March 2026.
Okay.
So in less than a year, it'll be open again for students, giving them another space. We actually have a councillor at the moment exploring even later hours so that we have spaces in the city for those who don't want to go out partying. They enjoy things like the library that'll be available to them. So Civic Square will have the town hall. We'll be able to have concerts in there again. You know, when I was a student, a very long time ago, we used to have Shapeshifter was the cool band at the time.
I love Shapeshifter.
Oh, okay, and I still love Shapeshifter.
I love Shapeshifter.
One of the best Shapeshifter concerts I've ever been at was at the town hall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And of course, the part of the Victoria University Music School is going to go into the town hall as well.
All right.
So that'll enable a space for students, and we'll basically have our Civic Square back. And in a matter of a couple of years, we'll have the Courtney Place.
Okay. Any little moments, like you're touting quite large achievements here, are there any smaller, more intricate memories you have from your mayoralty, which is still going, it's not over, but any little moments you can think of that you're going to take away?
Yeah, well, even just last week I was in Oharu Valley planting trees. So I planted 10. So per year we plant 100,000 native trees across the city to basically regenerate our planting across the city as well. I've been supporting Capital Kiwi and our biodiversity efforts, and I think Wellington is one of the only places in the world where biodiversity is increasing significantly, and we're getting a lot of native birds coming back to our community. And even in like your own neighbourhood, it's not uncommon now to like see a tui in the tree and stuff like that. So those little moments make me feel special. 26 kilometres of cycleways delivered in my term. I've always been a big supporter of Pāneke Pōneke, and you know I will stay with council until that's finished.
Okay, cool. I think to go out on a limb, you were probably the student candidate for a lot of students. Your party, the Green Party, campaigns the most on student issues. What do you say to students who feel let down by you dropping out of the race? Like you were their person and now you're not there to choose in the election.
My message to them is I'm still running for council, and that the mayoralty isn't the only role. And in fact, I can probably be more transformational or make more impact being a little less out of the limelight, because I think that has been a massive, if not dangerous, distraction. And one of the big drivers for me stepping aside from the mayoralty is, and this is me speaking to a lot of rangatahi Māori and wahine Māori, is them seeing me under attack. Them seeing me receive death threats, them seeing me receive horrific abuse actually impacts their decision making when it comes to stepping up in the future. I don't want them to see that. I don't want them to witness it. I want to create safer pathways for women, marginalised communities to get into politics. I don't think I can do that in this role, but I can if I become a councillor. So that's why a huge reason I'm running for the Māori ward is I think I can make a significant impact for Māori in that seat. It frees up a lot of my time, so actually what I'll be doing in that time is I'm a member of Internet New Zealand and becoming a member of NetSafe. I'm talking to organisations like Global Women about looking into advocacy and research to develop safety measures for women and eventually our rainbow community and Māori, and creating safer pathways for them into politics. So I'm here for the fight. And in fact, I'll probably even be more of a fighter in this role because there'll be less of an expectation in the mayoralty.
Okay. What do you say to Ray Chung and others who have suggested that you and Andrew Little colluded when you dropped out of the race and that you'll be his deputy?
No, he's actually already ruled me out of the deputy role, unfortunately. So I gave him a heads up to let him know out of good faith I'm going to be stepping aside, but there have been no conversations since then. In fact, there's probably been quite an exclusion, I would say, which has been disappointing.
Right.
But that's why I'm now going to be focused on. I really want to increase the vote of Māori and ensure that they vote for the Māori role. Increasing the importance of the Māori ward referendum, which everyone can vote on, and to ensure that Wellington City retains that. So I'll be campaigning on that as well. And getting as many Green councillors elected as possible, so hopefully the most ever.
Right.
So there's 5 of us running at the moment.
Yeah. All right. Do you think Andrew Little's trying to distance himself from you?
I think he is, yes. I would say he's proactively distancing himself, which is disappointing because I stepped aside for a particular reason because I believed he would be progressive. I'm yet to see that.
Yeah.
And I will be very vocal about that this campaign.
Do you think him campaigning on issues like saving Begonia House are not really hitting the mark?
100%. It seems to me, and this might be a trend with the Labour Party at the moment actually, they are going for the centrist vote. That's not Wellington. So Wellington have primarily voted for the Greens and the Labour Party, and we have 2 Green electorate MPs, so it's not necessary.
Yeah, I could see that being the case in 2022 and in the 2023 election when we had Julianne Genter and Tamatha Paul win seats in Wellington. But it seems like the Green vote has tanked. That, I mean, even looking at your poll numbers, do you think that is still what Wellington is, a Green city?
I mean, I don't think it has tanked. There's the Better Wellington poll is the only poll I've seen, and as we know, they've been linked to misinformation.
Okay. Maybe tanked is a exaggeration, but there've been sort of numerous scandals in Parliament and other sort of fiascos.
Yeah, I think the Green Party has certainly had its challenges over the last couple of years, and with a new co-leader, it's finding its feet. But as we've seen with the polling at the moment, regardless of actually some of these the drama, their polling's actually stayed pretty solid.
Okay.
Last question.
Yeah, this is the last question. In 2022, you campaigned on unifying the council. The council is still pretty divided at the moment. What advice would you give to your successor, whoever it is, to try and unify the council, get more fluid decision making? What advice would you give to them?
It's been a tough one, right? So as we've seen with our observer coming in, he's identified that there's this disruptive culture that's been ingrained in the council for the last 3 terms. And it's still very much prevalent today, and that's actually the result of a minority number of councillors. So I would say to any mayoral candidate coming in, have your eyes open. There are some people on this council who don't wish to be a unified council, and that's something I'll also be open about over the next few months.
Yeah. Okay. Kei te pai, thank you so much, Tory Whanau, for your time. All the best in the future and in the upcoming elections for the Māori ward.
Thank you.
Thank you.